Despite what it might look like from all of my videos, I haven't actually had the best luck with photography. The first film camera I ever had back in 2019 got jammed. Then my next camera also got jammed. And then because it took me so long to purchase the camera that I now use, I honestly forgot how to take photos for a while. However, the roll of film that I shot recently, I'm actually really proud of. So I just thought I could go through this roll of film and kind of talk to you about each photo today. By the way, I'm not going to show you every photo today just because there's lots that like didn't fully turn out, but I will be showing you like a lot of the photos that I took. And in the future, if you ever want to see a preview of the photos that I take, they'll be on my Instagram before the video goes up usually, so make sure you follow me over there. Okay, we're going to ignore this first photo just because it's like blurry and horrible. Okay, this second photo, I'm actually really proud of this. I wasn't fully sold when I first got the roll back. Like looking at it now, the detail in the water is actually really good. Sometimes water can seem like really blurry and it's quite defined in this photo. So that I'm really proud of. The only issue with this and pretty much every single photo on the roll, unfortunately, I have this like massive light leak down the side, and I think this was an issue with the seal on my camera. I also got a note from the people who developed my photos, so there's definitely like an issue with some kind of seal in my camera. So yeah, this photo definitely got completely ruined by the light leak, I would say, and I can't even fix it in like Photoshop or anything like that just because it's bright white. Although I think the waterfall does look quite cool. Not really my favorite though. I think anything with foliage is quite hard to have a focus point. This is a photo I think of my friend Catherine. She's like in the distance. I don't think this really turned out just because when I took it, I imagined it to be way more saturated and kind of bright. But I think this is when I was still overexposing my photos, so it just kind of looks a bit washed out and grey. But like they will improve. That's terrible. I literally put so much effort into this photo and it did not turn out at all. This I think is quite cool. I love the colours in it. It's a lot more like saturated. And I love the little light leak down the side because it's kind of like it adds like a different hue. If you can see it all, it's quite subtle because I think the light leaks are only really harsh when I like took the first photo I'd taken in a while, if that makes any sense. So this was taken straight after the last photo that you just saw. Like the light didn't really have time to seep into the camera and like ruin it for me. What the hell is that? I don't even know. There's like this weird little bit in the corner as well. I'm so curious. Like I actually am eager to know what that is. Is that like part of a photo? God only knows. Anyway, this, it could have been so much better just because of the light leak, but I do love the like the detail in the leaves. This is a close-up of a tree in some gardens that I go to all the time with my family just because it's so close and it's such a nice place to just be around. I'm thinking of shooting a video there, just like taking some photos of like the flowers, which you will see later in the video, but I want to kind of like focus on that more because some of my best photos from this roll were from those gardens because the lighting is always so nice. But yeah, I do love this, and I think the colors are just getting a lot better because like I was paying attention to how I was using the camera here. This was at the same place. I think my issue with like shooting big landscapes of like any kind of thing like this feels, it's just never really gone well for me because you can't focus on anything in particular, so it just looks a bit like boring. Like there's not really anything that like catches your eye. I think the little bit with the like flowers in the stream's quite cute, but apart from that, like really not my favorite. This I can see what I was going for, but I just think the only thing that it really had going for it was the little like corner of the, I think that's a house or a bit like some kind of building. That's the only thing that would like really make it look good, and it's out of focus. But like I had the spirit. I did have the spirit. Okay, it just didn't pay off. This I really love, and I think although it is like a wider space, I had a focus point. I had something to focus on, so you can see the little daffodil in the middle. I just think it looks really pretty with like the sunlight. This I think is actually really cool. I love the green in the shadows, and I just think it looks a lot different from how I'd have imagined it to turn out. But yeah, I think it's really pretty. Like obviously I've tried to focus it and it's kind of turned out in that sense. So yeah, I think it's quite cool. I probably won't use this for anything, but I think it would make quite a pretty background for like a YouTube banner or like a thumbnail or something. This was when I went to the beach like a couple months ago. I think I was just hoping for it to be brighter and like more saturated, and I've obviously overexposed the photo a little bit, but like it is quite nice, I guess. I don't know. This one I like a lot more just because the people on like boats, I think that is, or it's like paddle boards, they're on some kind of thing. They're like the center of the photo. I don't really know what I'm on about, but you can see more in this photo here, especially once I like edited it to straighten it out because this one's slightly slanted. But like when I straightened it out and like put the person on the little like paddle board in the middle, it looks actually really nice. I really like this photo now that I'm looking at it in more detail. Quite cute. I don't know what I'll do with that, but love it. This I want to show you. I'll probably blur my grandma out. I don't know. I'll ask her. That's my grandma. And I'm just annoyed because this could have been such a cute photo of just like my mum and my grandma like looking at flowers. It could have just been like such a bigger scene of just like everyone at the gardens kind of looking around and just like the bright sunshine because it's so saturated and it's really pretty. This, I don't really know what that is. I think that's like I took that from a bridge looking up somewhere. I really don't know what that is, but like colourful and cute. cute and colourful. I'm gonna shut up about the light leaks at some point in my life, but this does look really aesthetic, I think, just because it's more of like a snapshot of like a moment rather than like an actual nice put together, well composited photo. This is actually when me and one of my friends met up and we were just in town, and then it started like absolutely pouring it down. We just sat under this like pub entrance, or it was like the back of a pub, and there's like this massive archway at the side of the street, so we just sat there. It did work for shelter, but I do think that looks really nice, just with everything there, and like the light leaks add to it just because they're colourful. So I don't know, I do really like this photo, even though it's like photography wise it's not actually that good. This is my friend Catherine. I think this is such a lovely photo, and I also think that this is one of the rare occasions where like the light leaks really add to the photo almost, because I think it frames her really nicely. Anyway, let's move on to the next photo. This I think is really nice. It looks a lot like older because there's no sense of scale of like the size of everything in the photo. It would normally ruin a photo, I think, in a lot of instances, but this, it really works. But yeah, if I have any photos of like me and my friends near these trees, I'll insert them because they're a lot bigger than they look, and I just think that's like a cool effect that I caused. This is a photo of my friend Ophelia. I think it's quite cute, but like on a photography basis it's not really that good because she's slightly out of focus. She's overexposed. It's a bit blurry. That's what out of focus means. It's nice though. I do think it's nice. This on the other hand, I think is so cool. This is maybe one of my favorite photos, at least so far, like in the roll of film. There's some more that I really love, but like this I think turned out so well, even with the light leak. Like it looks like a source of light. It looks really editorial to me, and it's like exactly what I was going for, because she like lay down on her back and I was like, oh my god, like hold that pose, put your glasses on, because like, as you can see, they're like these massive like chunky pink glasses. They're so cool, and that's just exactly what I was going for in the photo. And I think she just looks so cool in the photo. Like I love that photo so much. I really don't know why. It's just kind of like weird, but like in the best way. This is another photo of her. I do think this is a lot better than the first one, just of her, not like the weird one where she was lying down. The composition of the photo is just better, and she's more in focus. The exposure's not as high, and I do think the color, especially in the lower part of the photo with like her jeans and the almost yellow light on the grass, looks really nice and like warm. I think the only thing really throwing it off is the fact that the fields in the background aren't straight, even though she is in the photo, like the actual fields in the back aren't. So I don't know, I might edit this. But this is the only picture of me on the roll, and actually maybe one of the only film photos of me that I actually like. Although like none of these are like amazing, apart from that one of her lying down on the floor. They're just like really nice memories. This, hands down, best photo of the roll, maybe even the best photo I've ever taken. I'm obsessed with this photo. I want to send it, this is from the gardens that I was on about earlier. I want to send it to the gardens on Instagram, but I don't know how to send it to them without seeming snobby. I don't want to be like, here's a photo, put this on your page. I am honestly so proud of this. Like the color, the light, the composition, the focus are like all perfect, if not almost perfect. And like, yes, I know there's a tiny light leak down the side, but that's not even that noticeable, and that could really easily be fixed in post editing. But yeah, I'm honestly so proud of that. And then there's another one that I feel like is a good runner-up, especially if you crop it so it's a square. I think it looks really nice. This is my phone background at the moment, just because it's like a cute little flower shot, not as detailed, and the composition isn't as good as the last one, but I do think it looks really nice still. Like the colors are really vibrant, which is honestly what I love in film photos, and that's what I've like not been able to achieve for so long. This is the woodland at the gardens, and I think this one looks really cute. It's not that great, at least you can kind of tell where it is. And I think I took this from the bridge that was across the stream that you saw earlier, kind of looking up, so you can kind of see all the flowers and stuff. And I do like how I haven't focused on the flowers that are right at the front, but I focus on kind of the middle ground, which I think works quite well, and that's something I can kind of play with. And I think this is one of the last ones. I think this could have been such a good photo, but it's obviously just slightly overexposed. I think if the flowers or the lilies or whatever were like slightly less exposed, it would have been such a nice photo. But in my defense, that is kind of really hard to do just because they're bright white flowers anyway. That's what ruins this photo for me, because I think the rest of it's really nice. It's just those flowers like really would make or break the photo. And then the last two photos aren't that great. They're just of some fields near my house. Never had the best luck with taking photos of fields. I think it's because there's not really anything to focus on. You can see in one of them there's like a castle in the background, which looks really cool, but like you can barely see it. And I think if I wanted to take like an actually good photo in a field, I'd have to like focus on something, even if it was just a tree, or if I was taking a photo of the grass like up close, which I might try in the future. But yeah, this just didn't turn out how I wanted it to, although I was just trying to use up the film, like I didn't really care. So that was all of the photos that I've taken recently. I really hope you liked the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos like this. I am planning to shoot a lot more film this summer. So yeah, stick around and I will see you again very soon in another video, if I can be bothered to upload, because I haven't uploaded in 3 months.